when you're strange. No one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange. Alright, yeah. When you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange.
Okay, we're back live on KBLP with Denise Harris in the Book Corner, and we're discussing cults. Deep subject. I kind of brought up the Freemasons. I think they're a little both science or ritual. I think it was both. The Freemasonry or Masonry consists of fraternal organizations that trace their origins to the local fraternity of stonemasons, which from the end of the 14th century regulated the qualification of stonemasons and their interaction with authorities and clients. The degree of Freemasonry retained the three grades of medieval craft guilds: apprentice, journeyman, and master mason. These are the degrees offered by Craft or the Blue Lodge. And Freemasonry, and members are known as Freemasons or Masons. There are additional degrees which vary. The basic local organization unit is a lodge. They call them lodges. They're usually supervised and governed at the regional level by a Grand Lodge or Grand Orient. There is no international worldwide Grand Lodge that supervises all of the Freemasonry. Each Grand Lodge is independent, and they do not necessarily recognize each other. Okay? Modern Freemasonry consists of two main groups: regular Freemasonry, and they insist that a volume of scripture is open in a working lodge, that every member profess belief in a supreme being. No women are admitted, and the discussion of religion and politics is banned. They also have Continental Freemasonry, is now the general term for liberal jurisdictions, who have removed some or all of these restrictions from their group. Freemasonry describe themselves as beautiful system of morality. Veiled in allegory and illustrated by symbols. For, I think, a long time, the Freemasons were considered sort of like the Illuminati. Okay, they work in the background behind the guise of being stonemasons. The symbolism is mainly, but not exclusively, drawn from the tools of stonemasons, the square and the compasses, etc. A moral lesson is attached to each of these tools, but it's not really consistent. And the meaning of the symbolism is taught and explored through ritual. So it kind of answers, I think, your question: is it science or ritual? I think it's both. I think it's a little of both. They begin their journey in the craft. The candidate is progressively taught the meanings of the lodge symbols and entrusted with signs and words to signify to other Masons that he has been so initiated. So, the initiations are part lecture and revolve around the construction of the Temple of Solomon and the artistry and depth of his architect. The degrees are those of entered apprentice, fellow craft, and master mason. So there you go. I think that it's kind of I think they work behind the scenes on things that maybe local government things like that, different groups that they would back, so to speak, agree with. But I think that they work behind the scenes in that. Again, no women are allowed in the traditional Freemasonry lodges. So, but I'm going to talk about the Illuminati now and see if we can see any parallels to these two groups. The Illuminati is a name given to several groups, both real and fictitious, by the way, but historically refers to the Bavarian Illuminati, an Enlightenment-era secret society founded May 1st, 1776. The goals were to oppose superstition, religious influence over the public life, and abuse of state power. The order of the day, they wrote in their general statutes, is to put an end to the machinations of the purveyors of injustice, to control them without dominating them. They work behind the scenes in the local government type, where they're not going to let them get ahead of themselves. They're going to keep them under control, so to speak. And again, now it lists them. The next part, the Illuminati, along with Freemasonry and other secret societies, were outlawed with the encouragement of the Roman Catholic Church. In several years following, the group was vilified by conservative and religious critics who claimed they continued underground. Of course they did. We know they did. So there you go. I said the Freemasons were kind of like the Illuminati in that they worked behind the scenes. There you go. They did. Many influential intellectuals and politicians counted themselves as members. So it attracted literary men such as Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, and the reigning dukes of Weimar. In the subsequent use, Illuminati refers to various organizations with claim to have links to the original Illuminati or the similar secret societies. They are often alleged to conspire to control world affairs by masterminding events and planning agents in government and corporations in order to gain political power and influence, basically to establish a new world order. I don't know about that, but I think they do try to work behind the scenes to keep the local government and a state government in line, so to speak. And a lot of these men were members at one time or another. And again, this is a conspiracy theory, so there you go. We can do a thing on that. Central to some of the most widely known and elaborate conspiracy theories, the Illuminati have been depicted as lurking in the shadows and pulling the strings and levers of power in dozens of areas. So there you go. I think they're a little both science and ritual. And they're linked with the Freemasons, of course. And I saw something you put on there, Ben Franklin, about they found 200 bodies in the basement. I did read something about that. It was crazy, wasn't it? So there's a conspiracy theory we can discuss about Illuminati. Interesting. So what do you think? Are they behind the scenes? Are they active? I think so. I think they are. But that's, again, my opinion. You can state yours, please do. I like to know what you're thinking. So give me your thoughts on that. What did you think of the Freemasons? Just wondered what you thought of that. Anybody listening, please let me know. we're going to move on to some of the most popular cults going on or had gone on. And we discussed some of them. And Manson family was the last one. And we discussed the Branch Davidians, the Manson family. People's Temple. This is one of the most infamous ever. Also known as, this is Jim Jones, the People's Temple. Wow. I just can't wrap my head around what had happened there. Jim Jones is the most infamous cult leader in American history. He had certain Pentecostal beliefs, but his preaching attracted many African Americans from the 50s to the 70s, mainly because he had a progressive view on racial equality. Jim Jones' cult, the People's Temple, it first relocated to Utah because he believed this would give the cult the best chance of surviving a nuclear war. Now, yeah, he used that idea against him because of the nuclear testing going on. So I don't know if I think he used that to scare people into believing that there was going to be a nuclear war. And by the 70s, he had denominations in LA, San Francisco, and Jim Jones actually had a certain amount of political clout. So not only was he a cult leader, he had influence in the political reign there. So, in 1977, the New West magazine decided to publish an expose of Jim Jones and his cult, and he chose to relocate his congregation to the commune in Guyana, a socialist country in South America. And when U.S. Congressman Leo Ryan flew to Guyana to meet with Jim Jones, his people eventually shot and killed him. And knowing justice would soon arrive from U.S. authorities, Jim Jones decided to go out in the most dramatic fashion possible with a mass suicide. Over 900 members of the People's Temple drank poison in their Kool-Aid, but they believe some might have drunk the punch at the point of a gun. They don't believe everybody did it willingly. Over 900 people. That's a large number, I think, to follow somebody like that. And to live in Guyana like that. What do you guys think? It just baffles my mind. It really does, that this person had so much influence. He was very charismatic. And very influential, apparently. So I think he used this to lure people in. And it was so sad because I don't think there was any reason for it. It was sad. It really was. And it was sad they killed that representative. It really was. They didn't have to do that. So I think it was more his own fears that he'd be found out he wasn't, the leader he believed himself to be. I think he was just afraid. He was a coward. So instead of going, of course he was. He didn't go by himself. He had over 900 other people do it with him. So, so sad. And again, just the powerful luring techniques that get people into these cults. It's really a deep subject. It really is. And everybody's got their own ideas. And answer the question, can any of you see yourself in a polygamous situation? I can't see any of you in that, to be honest. I can't see myself. I'd be like, no, sorry, I don't share. That I can't see how they can function, excuse me, as a family unit like that.